Brothers, God may love you, but does he like you?
From the director of One Nation Under God and Beware of Christians comes, believe me, Will Baki's first non-documentary film. I was pretty hyped going into this one since I really enjoyed his previous two documentaries that I just named. Now, they are not Christians. The leading man, Sam, played by Alex Russell, figures out that Christians will give to any charity as long as they think it's furthering the kingdom of God. Now, this is a strong idea for a film, and the trailer plays it off like this will be a comedy. And it is, for the first half. That is until we reach the second half, where the entire film takes a weird dramatic turn, and it goes from a comedy with drama elements to a drama with comedy elements. Which is fine, but I want to give you a heads up that this is not a through and through comedy, which is what it was promised to be. First off, I want to point out that Believe Me gets straight to the point and establishes our main characters without wasting any time. I really do like that. The acting and cinematography is great. However, I didn't really care for any of the lead characters besides Baxter, who's played by Max Adler. The rest of them just seem like smug college kids without any real redeeming qualities. Now, to get this money, they realize they have to create a fake charity. A charity that really only gives 20% of the money that they're receiving to charity. Now, since they're not Christians, they have to learn how to be Christians, and this is easily one of the funniest parts of the movie, as they have no idea what they're doing.
There are 4 essential hand-raising techniques.
If the dessert is part of the meal, it's probably already been prayed for. If the dessert is the meal, best bet's to pray for.
In fact, the 2-step brochure they made was so funny that it reminded me of those jokes where it's like, step 1, do this. Step 2, step 3, profit. Sam even has a segment where he talks about how Jesus did not literally walk on water. I can only imagine the backlash from saying something like that. After having a successful charity fundraising event at their school, they are approached by a Christian organization to travel the entire country to acquire more funds for their charity. The execution of this idea in the first half is really good, and promise is definitely there. However, once we reach the middle of the film, there's a montage of them hitting it big and becoming successful. This is where most of the comedy just goes out the window and drama steps right through the door. What was weird is that the second half of the film almost felt like a different film, and none of the supporting cast felt like Christians, which they were supposed to be, by the way. The entire second half of the film had me thinking there was going to be a plot twist, like everyone was in on this scam. It turns out that's not the case, and it just felt weird. The entire film had me feeling weird at the end. The first half of the film was so good. It felt like it was going places. And then we reached the second half and everything just kind of comes to a... and the film just kind of ends, which is weird because it didn't leave you with a cliffhanger. It almost felt like they just ran out of time to shoot the film and that's the ending we got. Technically speaking, the movie is well done. As I stated before, the acting and cinematography were great. However, the soundtrack left much to be desired. And as I mentioned before, that montage in the middle was just weird. In fact, there's music in places where it doesn't need any music, and it really throws off any comedic timing that the film is trying to have. The dialogue was realistic, the script was pretty well written. It was a bit weird though when in the end of the film, the leads all cursed. Which leads me to content warning. I really can't believe I have to do this for a faith-based film, but there is language in this film. And alcohol is shown quite prominently, and it's never discouraged. It's always shown as socially acceptable at college and at parties. All in all, this film had me a mess, and I still, months later, don't know what to fully think about it. I feel like the film itself was a mess. What was promised in the trailers and what was delivered seemed like two different films, which is quite unfortunate because what was promised in the trailers had the potential to be one of the best Christian films ever. What ends up starting as a comedy ends as a drama, and I guess the best comparison for that is the movie Click, where it seems like the whole movie is going to be a comedy, and then it ends up being a drama, and you're like, why? Why? This movie could have been so much better. Needless to say, this is not even in my top list of movies or Christian movies. I'm going to have to give Believe Me a 7.5. Rent it, but do not be shocked if you feel like potential was left on the table.
I propose we start a clothing line, and we're going to call it...
Hey everyone, hope you enjoyed this Real Geeks review of Believe Me. Subscribe to our channel. Every Tuesday or every other Tuesday we're going to have a Real Geeks review. We haven't really decided how often, just depends on the amount of views we get on these reviews. However, at minimum, every other week. Check out Geeks Under Grace for more great content, and leave a suggestion in the comments of what Christian films, or films in general, you would like us to review. Thanks for checking